Right, so fun facts, I actually kind of called what was going to happen. I did say that Leo Akaba wasn't as evil as he seemed. I knew there was going to be some ulterior motive why he wanted to unite the dimensions, and it's been revealed today that there is actually an ultimate evil that existed in the united world, which is the reason why there are 4 different summoning techniques. I always thought standard was the united one because that had all the summoning techniques, but that was the pendulum summoning version, so that was all the standard summoning of monsters, and I can't believe I didn't realise that until now. And the only reason they had the other summoning types was probably because Leo Akaba went there and started like encouraging other people to try these different things, so that kind of makes sense there. We haven't had it revealed just yet how the dimensions got split, but in the preview for the next episode we do see that the Yuzu looking character, she gets 4 cards off of Leo Akaba. This is what I think is going to split the dimensions, split YUGIOH up in, well, Zark. You can also spell Zark as well. If I went on the Wikipedia page, it's Z-Arc, so Z-Arc, which, Arc 5, Arc V, I don't know, some similarities there. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, we've got a different background today because I couldn't bother to set it up over there, but this is going to be a one-off. So, this character Zark, they blackened his face out, but I don't understand why, because obviously the only reason they do that is because he looks like YUGIOH. So he's just the original YUGIOH basically. So each of the YUGIOHs that we know, YUGIOH, YUGO, Yuri and Yuto, they're aspects of this person's personality. So YUGIOH is kind of like the fun side that enjoys dueling, which you saw, he enjoyed dueling. Yuri is kind of like the ruthless part of him that wants to just like win at all costs kind of thing. And you got like Yuto, who wants to be noticed, and Yugo, that I guess kind of has a love for people or something like that. We see his sort of progression into evil because he goes there with the solid technology and he enjoys what he does, but then through the crowd telling him to be more brutal, be more violent, he sort of gets driven insane, kind of, but he was already ruthless to begin with. He was willing to hurt people to like please a crowd, so he sort of rolled with it, and then he became insane, and then he just had a quest for more and more power, and this what it eventually led to him like combining all of his dragons together, because it was revealed he's also the original owner of all the different summoning dragons, and he creates the ultimate monster, which was Supreme Dragon King Zark, which I have to admit does look pretty cool. So what's kind of happening now is we're sort of getting like all the YUGIOHs that might be fusing together, perhaps in the next few episodes. I'm not sure if it's going to happen just yet, but this is a chance that YUGIOH could actually be the final antagonist of the series. But then who would face him? It would be like Leo Akaba and YUGIOH versus Zark, I guess. I don't like the name Zark, I don't know why. I would have preferred if he had like a U before his name, because I've been used to that. But I guess that makes sense because you've got all the YUGIOHs with the U, and then the step up would be the letter Z, I guess. So Zark, okay. But we also see that girl, which she looks quite similar to Yuzu, and she kind of sounds like her as well. So she's going to be involved in the next episode quite heavily, and obviously it was cool to see the professor's kind of like backstory, because we had a very big information dump, which was very much needed in this series so far. We got to see in the United World that Solid Vision was just kind of like an everyday item kind of thing, just like existed there. And the professor wanted to do something with it, so he put it into dueling, which fit really well. Except when he like tested it on one of the monsters, he could feel like heat, and like the monsters moved, and he says, "Oh, they must have souls." Pfft, that probably won't come back to haunt me or anything like that. Turns out, you know, it was very important because monsters probably don't like fighting all the time, and they can feel rage as well. So it was his fault. So Leo Akaba isn't totally innocent. He is the reason why that universe failed. And obviously, he is trying to set things right. He is actually, despite the way he's trying to do things, he is trying to do a good goal in the end. He's one of those sympathetic villains, if you will, which do have a proper goal. So I'm hoping that they believe him, because they seemed a bit skeptical. So it's all fairy tales, don't listen to him. And I hope they aid him. I'd hate for them to defeat him, and he leaves some like passing words like, "Oh, you have to use this to defeat them," or something like that. But yeah, this episode actually creates a lot of interesting things that could happen in this series now. So obviously we might have a fusion of all the YUGIOHs going together to create this new entity. Where I think this series could end is they're all going to unite, then maybe they'll be separate. Maybe they won't get united, but at the end of the series, I guess all the dimensions may end up uniting together again. But if Zark is recreated through this process, then maybe he can be a better person, because all the YUGIOHs will have learnt something, and those aspects, when combined, they'll be a better person. But obviously you got to make Yuri a good person, which that's gonna be tough. So yeah, there's quite a few questions still left in the air, like what Yuzu has to do with all of this, what she's like going to achieve, and things like that. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Catch you later. Right then, guys. So recently I subscribed to Loot Crate. Specifically, I subscribed to Loot Anime. They specialise in sending Loot Anime related stuff. And I thought that I'd do an unboxing for you guys and show you the kind of stuff I got. Unfortunately, I'm in the future, so I've already opened it all, so I know what I get. This is what the box looks like after you've turned it inside out. It's kind of like a treasure chest, which we're going to see.